Let's begin with chapter number 17 from your history book of grade 8, and the name of the chapter is the Union Executive. So before we start this chapter, you have to understand that there are three main organs of the Indian government, and these three main organs, I'm not saying level, okay, I'm saying organs. The three main organs are legislature, executive, and judiciary. What is the work of the legislature? The work of the legislature is to make the laws. The work of the executive is to apply the laws. And the judiciary takes care that whether the laws are getting followed properly or not. If anybody is not following the law, then the judiciary punishes that person. Okay, let's start the chapter with the executive branch. The executive branch, the legislative branch of the government, makes the law of the country. The executive branch of the government performs the task to enforce, that means to apply these laws. The Union Executive consists of the President, the Vice President, the Prime Minister, the Council of Ministers. The executive is helped by a large workforce that includes civil servants like the police forces, who implement government policies, and the police forces are ensures that the citizens follow the law. What is the role of the president? The president is the constitutional head of the government of India. But in a parliamentary form of government, the president is the nominal or symbolic head. Okay, the president is the nominal head, or you can say the symbolic head. But the actual power, or you can say the real power, is in the hand of the prime minister. Okay. So the administration of the country is carried out in his name. The actual power is vested in the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers, who advise the President in the exercise of his or her functions. He or she is bound to follow these advices. That means the President is bound to follow the advices of the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. What are the basic qualifications needed to become the President of India? He or she must be the citizen of India. He or she be at least, that means the minimum age is 35 years of age. He or she must have all qualifications necessary to be a member of Lok Sabha. Okay, what is the election and termination? How do these presidents get elected? First of all, they are not directly elected. Directly elected means common citizens come forward, cast their vote, and select their representatives. That is the direct election. But here they are saying the president is elected indirectly. That means our representatives on our behalf casting their vote and selecting the president. That is indirect election. That means we common people are not directly included in this election process of selecting the president. An electoral college elects the president. The electoral college, what is the meaning of this electoral college? Electoral college consists of the following members. The elected members of both houses of the parliament. That means Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Those who are elected members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The elected members of state legislative assemblies. Okay, these two are there. The president is elected for the period of 5 years. For 5 years, the president can be impeached. Impeached means can be removed from its position. Okay, so the president can be impeached by the parliament. Impeachment is the procedure by which the parliament can remove the president if he or she is found guilty or violating the constitution or treason or any corruption. Okay, so on this kind of basis we can find if the president is not following the constitution properly, or maybe he is corrupt. If all this is getting proved, then he can be removed from his chair. Okay, Next comes what are the powers. He is having actually the military power, executive power, legislative power. He is having many such power, but today we are going to study only two powers, that is the executive power and the military power. So what is the executive power he is having? The president appoints the prime minister, who is the leader of the majority party or the coalition parties or the single large party of the Lok Sabha. That means as we are casting our vote and selecting our representative, the party which is winning the election in the Lok Sabha, the leader of that party is getting the position of becoming the prime minister, and that is appointed by the president. The president appoints the union ministers on the advice of the prime minister. So the union ministers are also getting appointed by the president, but there is always, the advice of the prime minister is very important. Okay. Next is the president appoints the state governors and other high officers such as the comptroller and the auditor general and the attorney general. Okay, the president appoints the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Courts, or the ambassadors of to other countries. So all the high ranked officials, you can understand, the judges, the ministers are getting appointed by the president, always with the advice of the Council of Ministers and the Prime Minister. We should not forget this. Next, today's last point is military powers. What kind of military powers the president is having? The president is the supreme commander of the defense forces. He or she can declare war or conclude peace. That means a war with any country will be declared by the president, and it will, when the war is going to end, that is also going to get declared by the president of India. All important treasuries and contracts are made by the president's name, made in the president's name. So all the treaties, all the contracts which are signed between two different countries or maybe with the institutions, all those are done by the president, and by taking the president's name, everything gets addresses. Hopefully you understood this much. Thank you.